I'm not a man who gets his steez jacked.
No. I jack other men.
I jack other men and their steez and other things. And
when all else fails, I jack their steez.
you know what's crazy? I've learned the lesson of the unsatisfied mind because I'm also unsatisfied with how high this chair is.
No way. No fucking way.
Yeah, this also feels bad to me.
It's just like be happy.
Clearly it is
you know what
just
I mean?
like
just be happy.
myself. Like that's the problem. It's me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree that you're the problem.
I've learned a valuable lesson the first 2 seconds of this podcast now.
Well, that's what this podcast is for, teaching life lessons.
Teaching me specifically life lessons.
Yeah. We're learning together as we grow into our truest selves.
It's true. And I'm learning from y'all more than you're learning from me. I'm like a substitute teacher.
Yeah. Dead Sword and Sorcery Society.
Dead Sorta Sorcery Society. That just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, doesn't that just... I mean, it should because it's alliteration, but it feels really clunky.
Yeah. It would be funny if, like, in Dead Poet Society, like, instead of, like, you know, Keats or, like, anything else, like, studying, like, the value of the English language, they're just really getting into, like, Joe D'Amato movies.
That would be good. Well, it would have a similar effect, I think. It brings people together.
Yeah.
Creates a sense of community amongst outcasts.
It's true. It's true.
That's us, a couple
That's
of outcasts.
Us. Yeah.
Yeah.
We met as we were both being, you know, swirly in a bathroom. We made eye contact. We were being dunked up. Oh, hey.
No, we're actually more like the two guys from Good Will Hunting.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Which, yeah, the question
thing is, one of them is a lot stupider than the other.
Yeah, see, honestly, if I'm gonna pick, I'm gonna go Will Hunting. I'm gonna go Will Hunting. Yeah. I think, for me personally.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. He's taking my name. He's taking everything. It just...
Yeah.
Going with the less intuitive pick. No, it's fine. This will be fucking Ben Affleck or...
Honestly, I would rather be Ben Affleck because the shit he says in that movie is the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, every day I go to work at the stone mill or wherever the fuck.
Yeah.
And I hope you don't come.
Yeah, he has that. I hope you don't come.
I hope you don't. You're coming every day in the stone mill. It's a real problem. People are slipping.
Just one time. I want you to hold it in, man.
I want you to goon just once.
Just goon.
Just
show up to your house. You're gooning.
We learned.
What a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I know, it's like
I'm gonna have to stop myself from saying goon. Now that I know what I've been doing all these years, you know.
Now that I can put a face to the experience.
Before I was a gooning virtuoso. You know, I didn't even know the word for what I was doing, but I was mastering.
Yeah, right. I've been gooning since before gooning was. You know,
I've been gooning since before the first goon. You know, incidentally, we also are like goons in like the villain term.
Yeah, I would love to be all right, boss. You know,
whatever you say, boss.
But
we're also jacking off while we're getting beat up by Batman.
Yeah,
that's why we do it. Stopped. Yeah. Our boss, the Stroker, is taking on Gotham
You know what?
City.
The Stroker is just as like valid of a villain archetypes, like the Calendar Man or whatever.
Yeah,
that fucking
man,
idiot.
Condiment Man. Yeah, just a guy who really likes public masturbating.
That's more of a criminal than half the actual criminals.
That is true.
Just a guy who likes riddles.
I would love to imagine that, like, yeah, in like the 50s or whenever, like, or more before the 50s, like 40s or something, whenever Batman comes out, they're really just fucking around. They're trying to they're throwing ideas at the wall. One issue, there's the Stroker, you know, and then you get like the later like Grant Morrison Batman runs and stuff, and like they try to like make every villain from the past like edgy and stuff, and it's like the Stroker comes back, and
it's
he's
just
like
a predator,
just a
sexual.
They're trying to make him like super intimidating and stuff, but he's just a guy who likes masturbating.
Yeah.
Is this our most vulgar opening yet?
No. We've done worse. We've done much worse.
Yeah.
And the thing is, people, they haven't even heard the worst of it. They've heard bad things and they think, well, that's the worst thing they've said on the podcast. No,
those boys are terrible. But no, actually, we're worse than you think.
We're far worse. There's a folder. It says Chase's fuck ups, and I have it ready
Chase,
at
kill
all times.
File.
I have a draft email with his entire family CC'd.
The second I speak out of line,
I'm gonna press send.
Everybody's knowing
the nuclear option. Or should I say the geometric nucleus option?
Oh, okay. All right.
We're just two buddies discussing fantasy. Oh God, it's Sorta Sorcery.
I don't know. bringing us back into the world of Ator. Welcome back, everyone.
Well, are we in the world of Ator? That's the question.
The world of Ator, what I love about its indeterminate sense of place is that you can really sort of project whatever qualities onto this world that you want.
That is true.
You can just introduce new elements all the time, and it's like, yeah, sure, we're same place.
Yeah. Welcome to Sorta Sorcery, the #1 podcast for dreamers, for creative thinkers. That's what you have to be to enjoy this movie.
Yeah, as well as gooners, goblins.
Goblins.
Ghouls.
Yeah. Because, we see some goblins and ghouls. And
Some
you have to wonder,
trolls as well.
where did these guys come from? They were not a part of the previous movies.
They weren't. You know what? I feel like we should address at the outset. We messed up, in a way. Here's the thing. To our credit.
Yeah.
These movies, sequence means nothing to these movies.
That's true.
The order in which the movies 1, 2, 3, that kind of thing, you think, oh, that's an ordering. Not in this world. Not in this universe.
Yeah.
We watched Quest for the Mighty Sword. It is an Ator movie, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Which Ator film is it? Is it 3? Is it 4? I don't know.
Who knows, right?
I don't know.
I couldn't say. Some might say, Ator 3, like the movie that comes after Ator 2. Obviously, it's Iron Warrior. It's like, how would you know that?
How would you know that?
How would anyone know that? You search Ator movies, and you get Quest for the Mighty Sword, and you see the dad from Good Luck Charlie on the cover, and immediately you're enticed.
And if you're gonna release a movie and call it Ator 3, the Hobgoblin, then this is we're studying the canon first. We'll watch Iron Warrior at some point.
And I'll say this about Iron Warrior: not directed or written by Joe D'Amato.
Well, then it's not not a real Ator
not
film.
An Ator movie.
Not canon.
A real Ator movie.
Not canon at all.
Yeah.
We picked the right film, and it was a good.
It was an experience.
We watched this movie.
I guess the thing is, because we were very confused at many points during this movie. So maybe there is just so much context.
I just
in
don't
Iron
believe
Warrior.
that. I just don't believe that at all.
Maybe. Because, we can get into the plot and, we can sprinkle in our, headcanons and stuff.
Yeah.
But we made up, a whole backstory for this movie as we were watching it to, explain the, inexplicable things that were happening. Because of, just the human meaning-making mind.
Yeah.
We want to speculate.
Yeah, right. We want to make things make sense.
Yeah.
And you do have to speculate to achieve that end.
It's still not a fun, good movie, but, the act of creating is in itself.
Well, and of course, in the genius ordering of the episodes of this podcast, you've already heard the episode about Die Nibelungen.
It's true.
That's going to help you a lot understanding this film. It's going to help you a lot.
And hey, if you haven't heard it, go back.
Go back and listen to the Die Nibelungen episode.
It's a good episode.
And then
we were much smarter
one.
in those days.
We were. The brain rot has gotten to us big time.
It's talking about gooning.
Yeah, right. We opened the podcast with just horrific brain rot bits about gooning and edging.
Awesome.
And mewing.
Awful.
Terrible.
Yeah.
No. Enough of that. Enough mewing.
Yeah.
And start viewing of this film.
Start viewing the words we're saying to you. Yeah.
Now there I was viewing the film.
Yeah, viewing your mind's eye.
This.
Yeah, it's good. That's good. That's good.
We start in media res. Characters running. There's so much running in this film. I feel like 40% of this film just running
around like nondescript vistas.
Yeah, right. Men running, women running, goblins hobbling, wobbling.
Goblins hobbing.
Goblins hobbing. Hobgoblin.
Goblins gobbling. Hobgoblins hobgoblin.
Never mind. I was gonna make it just a horrible, degenerate remark.
She gobbled my hob.
She gobbled my hob.
That's good. She gobbled my hob till I. Lynn, I don't know. Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough to do these bits on the fly, guys. Gotta give us credit. There's a woman running. We don't know who she is yet.
Yeah.
We're not going to know who anyone is until very deep into the movie.
Well, sure.
Cut to an opening much like Beastmaster 2. We're in a cave. There's a cave tribunal executing someone. Some sort of weird cult. You see the faces of creatures you've never seen before in the Ator universe.
Yeah, there's goblin men. And then you think, because, obviously if you're a smart person, the only movie you've watched before this is Ator 2, The Blade Master, which ends with a nuclear war, or nuclear bomb going off. So you think, these goblins are
they're like mutants.
Mutated, freaks of some kind. Yeah.
You're thinking way too much.
Yeah.
Just, take it in for what it is. It's just, there are goblins now.
There are goblins.
There's a race of
And maybe there have always been
things.
goblins.
Yeah, right? I mean, where are we in the setting? It's unclear.
Yeah.
It's unclear. Maybe we're in the West. We're in the West. The kingdoms of the West.
Achille. We're in Achille.
Yeah, and I guess the Achille are like the goblin people, the subhumans.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't know if it's like an ethnicity or a national
They never
group,
say, do they?
a nationality. I don't know. But here we have Prince Ator. And now you're thinking, is this Miles O'Keefe? Ator? No.
Well,
not quite. It is, in fact, the dad from Good Luck Charlie, Ator.
Yeah, we've been alluding to this for a while, and I guess this is why we jumped the gun on this movie.
Yeah, right. We just wanted to get to. We were so excited.
We got really
about
excited.
Eric Allen Kramer as Ator.
It's the dad from Good Luck Charlie, and he's
and
great.
You know what? He's actually he acts pretty well.
He's fine.
There are some worse actors in this film, to be sure. To be sure. But he doesn't have like the physique of a Miles O'Keefe.
No,
I'll say that.
No. Well, who does, right?
Yeah, it's really hard. I think that did influence the costuming decisions in this movie.
He's a bit more covered up. He's more
a little conservative.
But this isn't. Well, he doesn't. He plays multiple characters in this.
Right. I mean, he's a thespian at heart. He can play anyone.
It's true. And Miles O'Keefe couldn't do that.
He couldn't do that at all. He couldn't do what comes next. And Prince Ator. Yeah, I guess he's a prince now. Rules the Achille.
Yeah.
He has a wife. He has a son, who is also named Ator.
So, and that's another, throwing in some more headcanon. This movie is set hundreds of years after the mainline Ator series.
That's right.
This is like a line of Ators. Like this is like Ator.
There's been many
the 25th or something. Ator the 26th. Yeah, they're all named Ator, but at this point, I guess they all look like.
They perfected the gene. The gene. Well, I guess perfected is perhaps not the right word.
Well, no, they perfected it. He's the ideal white man form. Yeah.
Well, it gives you the impression that it's like they're trying to emulate the original Miles O'Keefe Ator with each generation.
Yeah.
But they are slipping away a little bit from
they're losing
the general
the source.
elements. So now it's just like a blonde guy, a guy with long blonde hair.
But they don't have
photographs.
Maybe they think this is what Ator looked like the whole time.
Really.
Yeah. And that's because of all the generations that have passed. Now we have different races of mutated men and the goblins and stuff.
Just the subhuman.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess these aren't really racially dubious goblins. Well, I don't know. We can talk about this.
I mean, they are just a different race.
Yeah,
they're not really racially dubious because they're not human.
Analogous to a human race.
Yeah, in Conan 2011, which is the text of these.
Of course.
They were there's a racially dubious group because they were like humans, but they had fangs and stuff. They were just a bit different from humans. It's they're in the uncanny valley of human but also animalized and otherized. And but these are just goblins.
They're just
not really.
They are. They're not even original creations for this movie. As you and I were talking about the trivia that you found that they're reusing masks from a different movie.
Troll 3. Yeah.
Pretty funny.
And where Die Nibelungen, that was a racially dubious goblin.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I mean, certain characters are inspired in this movie directly, based off of Die Nibelungen type characters. Yeah. Mime, the weird goblin guy that raises Siegfried, has his analogy in this movie.
Yeah, Grendel.
Yeah,
who
we'll get to Grendel.
Whatever. Yeah.
Little fucking freak.
Beowulf.
Little freak Grendel. So Prince Ator is supposed to be a good ruler. We're told that he's just, but we also see him just beheading people.
Well, it's the sword of justice that he beheads them with, so it's all good.
Then it's good, yeah. So presumably they've committed crimes grievous enough to warrant death.
Rapists, apparently.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Trigger warning.
Yeah, he kills a rapist.
Actually, yeah, trigger warning.
Trigger warning for this entire ass movie.
Yeah, big
just
trigger warning.
Fucking.
If
oh my God.
that is something thematically that you don't jive with. Well, I guess
you don't jive with it.
You shouldn't.
If you jive with it, stop listening. Get away from us.
If yes, but if you are of a sensitive group.
Okay. It's just getting worse each time. It's getting worse and worse.
There's a lot of that. It's involved in the plot of this movie.
Yeah.
So if that is something that if
it is triggering for you,
if it's triggering. That's the word.
Then be warned.
That's the word.
Then
if it's triggering, be warned. God,
which is funny because
how is that so difficult for me?
I don't know. I mean, it shouldn't have been in the movie at all.
No.
It's 1990.
Oh, you don't need that.
It's so late in the development of society.
Crazy.
Really weird. 'Cause the first Ator, a much older film, was much more watchable.
Yeah.
in that regard.
You could show it to people and not look like a giant freak.
And I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
No, this movie definitely signals something wrong about the viewer.
Yeah.
Just for viewing, for the act of viewing. But Ator is dispensing justice. He's killing guys. He's setting it right. He has the sword of the sacred Grawl. I have to get that right.
Yeah.
Now, do we ever like really get a lot of context about what those words mean in combination?
Well, that doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah.
But we know it was given to him by Thorn, who is a god. Apparently, Ator is also pious now. He has this whole bit about, you must obey the will of the gods is the will of the gods.
So I guess when we're watching this movie, are we supposed to believe that like King Ator is the Ator of the previous movies? Like are we actually supposed to believe that without the headcanon? Because that doesn't really.
Yeah, I don't think that tracks.
I feel like I don't see the Blade Master finding religion.
I know, right? I don't know. Where did these gods even come from? The first movie, it's just a giant spider.
Giant spider, yeah. I guess like by defeating the spider, it created like a power vacuum for these other gods. Yeah,
Troll
exactly.
gods.
Yeah.
Goblin gods. And Thorn is a goblin god. It's funny because he tells his son, he's like, "Oh, you must be ready, my young boy." Son's like 2 years old at best. At any moment, Thorn could come back for the sword, and he's gonna kill me. And then seconds later, Thorn appears to kill him and take the sword.
And it's like, because for the dad, he would rather die than like give up the sword of justice.
Which is what he immediately says.
Because it's like, why? I don't know.
But it's also that doesn't make sense with what he just said about how like, you can't fight these cosmic powers. Yeah. Like you just got to go with the will of the gods. And then immediately he's like, no, you have to kill me for it.
For my cold dead hands.
And he Thorn kills him.
Yeah, from his cold dead hands.
Thorn kills him.
Would you give up the sword?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you need the sword?
Well, the idea is that this was a lawless land. Yeah. But with the sword, like he asked the gods for the sword.
Yeah, and then he
was able to
install,
create justice.
The nation
but it's like,
state.
With the sword, I don't know. Like, if I give up the sword,
a different sword. Use a different sword.
You're just using it to behead people. Right? Like it just seems like an okay sword.
Yeah, he fights like two guys in like one-on-one combat, but Ator was always good at fighting.
Ator was always good at fighting.
You can do that with any weapon.
But maybe the Ator line has become so like debased.
Yeah, depending on the power of the sacred sword of Grawl.
But then like at one point, as he's dying, like he grasps the sword like in his hands, like he by the blade and doesn't cut him.
Well, it's because
it's not that good of a sword.
Rock hard.
Oh, true. But yeah, like Thorn, like as they're fighting, like cuts the sword in half.
Well, yeah,
the sword
he
is
throws
shattered
a
now.
spear.
Yeah,
and it like goes through the sword and into Ator and kills him.
Yeah, pretty funny.
And Rio de Janeiro, who is the character who was running at the beginning of the film.
Yeah,
she was going there to save Ator, and she gets there, of course, right at the last second. It's too late. Don't.
Then she just
runs away after Ator dies. Yeah. Immediately books again. Things won't end well for her.
For Dejanira.
We're gonna get Dejanira, and we do get her. She gets trapped in a cave.
She gets got.
Oh no, you can't leave the cave, and there's fire in the cave. It's like Sleeping Beauty kind of, and when she leaves the cave, she becomes mortal. Yeah,
but they don't ever imply that she'll be like in an eternal slumber, but I guess she just is.
Well, I would just be napping as well. I don't really know what else there is to do in the
so
cave.
You're saying it's not even really...
Yeah, we just whenever we cut over to her and she's sleeping, it's just happens to be when she's sleeping.
Okay, well that makes what happens much
even
creepier.
Worse.
Yeah, much more insidious.
Well, there's so much that's insidious. By comparison, that seems rather tame.
Oh, God.
So what does Ator's wife do with the son now that her husband is dead and chaos rules the world?
Yeah, say now you're a single mom in this universe. And, it's hard to raise a child. It takes a village.
No.
It takes a village.
Well,
so you go to
it only takes one
the
goblin.
most trustworthy man in the kingdom.
Grindel.
Yeah, Grindel.
Not a good sign if your name is Grindel.
Well, okay, but Grindel, not that bad, I guess. Like he kills people and stuff in Beowulf, but he's like just like a mutant goblin man. Like he doesn't know,
Sure. He could be chill.
His ears get damaged because it's so loud and stuff.
It is funny how much like mythic inspiration was taken for the character names.
Yeah. To film. What effect? I don't know.
Almost none, I would say.
Because like. It all just blends back into like the Ator like cultureless like mush of it all.
Yeah.
To where like it couldn't even really be like thematically inspired, like mythically inspired. Because
it's funny because this is the first time it feels like they're making an effort to do world building.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't it's not working very well. Because Grendel is, I guess, like a smithy goblin. He's like also an alchemist goblin. He's got a lot of hats. Wears a lot of hats. This Grindel guy. Yeah. A lot of skills under his repertoire, and he's the only one who can reforge the sword of the Sacred Grawl.
Yeah.
So she takes baby Ator to Grindel, this beast of a thing, and is like, yeah, how would you like to take my son, raise him as your own, and on his 18th birthday give him the sword back?
Yeah, and the reason why she wants Grindel to raise him is because, like, the law doesn't permit, like, a princess to outlive her husband, the prince.
So she has to die now.
Which is, I mean, you noted this during the movie. Why didn't Prince Ator change
when
that
he was in charge of the law?
I guess he just wasn't.
He was into it,
He likes that law.
Yeah, right. He actually set up that law. That was not a cultural custom before.
Well, yeah, he created the law with
the
sword. So he established that.
Yeah. Which...
bad.
So
Maybe
I guess I feel like this is like, I guess her whole character arc is like just trying to die, which becomes important later, maybe.
Yes, I suppose. But like,
if we're trying to,
if the idea is that like the law or like the gods or whatever won't allow a princess to live past her prince, doesn't really make sense with what happens.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah. That's true. It's true.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
We'll get into it, but what happens next is just unspeakable horror. Grindel, he's just like an incredibly like horny little goblin.
Yeah, he's hitting on her and stuff.
He's like hitting on her and stuff.
And she's like not really responding. She doesn't want to.
No, it's like with a fucking disgusting thing.
But it's like, once the like goblin man starts talking about like how like much of a horny freak he is, I wouldn't leave my child with him.
Yeah, you leave at that point.
Because like the one thing he can do is like fixing the sword. That's good.
Yeah.
Let him do that.
Yeah,
but you don't need to also leave the child.
When Ator is 17, just give Ator to like an uncle or something.
Yeah.
Then be like, hey, go find this gremlin when you're 18 and have him reforge the sword. Not what happens. What happens is Grindel goes, okay, I can help you with this death quest. Let me make like a nightshade death potion for you. He makes a potion. Now, do we trust Grindel, the goblin, the hobgoblin? No. You should not trust this guy because you know what he gives her, and this is in the language of the movie, is not a death potion. It is an erotic potion. It's not a love potion.
It's an erotic.
It's an erotic potion.
Yeah.
And what might it do? Exactly what you would imagine it does.
It does. Yeah.
So, now unspeakable crimes have been committed.
Yeah, it's bad, and like it breaks her brain.
Yeah, and she goes mad after falling victim to Grindel's scheme. And somehow the gods decide to punish her. Yeah,
which is like, I guess, pretty Greek myth accurate. But still kind of fucked. I don't know. Yeah.
So she is like banished to just be like a concubine in a random bar somewhere.
Yeah. And there's a caveat to that she gets into later, but like Yeah.
So the mom's out of the picture for now. And we know that Grindel is just a foul thing.
Yeah, which does not really jive with like the fun music that they play. It's like his theme song.
He has this like
whenever he walks in a room,
cute little theme song. Yeah, it is. It's so insanely like carnival.
Yeah.
I don't. The whole sound design for this movie is terrible. It's bad. It's like all of the music is bad. The sound design is bad.
And like he's like an evil like creature. He's a scary looking guy.
Horrific.
They took his like makeup and like mask and stuff from like a horror movie. Like Troll 3.
He has these massive like fang things.
Yeah. And so you can tell he's like evil in at least the filmic language of this genre because he looks bad.
Yeah.
But like. Yeah, they're playing this funny, silly music, so it's like, oh, I guess he's like a comic relief character, and then he starts talking about like how much he wants to like have sex with the mom character, and it's like, so he is bad.
Yeah, the mom, he delivers the one line before he's done anything bad. You think, oh, maybe this guy is kind of funny, because she's like, oh, I have to die. It's the law. He goes, oh, the laws of men hold no sway in my cave.
Yeah, and you think that's like it's funny, but then you realize, oh,
but it's like, oh no, he's like actually nefarious in his intention.
Yeah, a goblin rapist.
Terrible, dude, just terrible.
Yeah,
just horrific. We time skip.
Yeah, skip past all that. So and all of this has been being like relayed to Ator by
and you're very confused when you first see this other putative other Ator, because
Ator the second.
It's just Eric Allen Kramer.
Yeah,
it's him again. He doesn't. No new makeup.
No,
to change his age.
Well, he's wearing like barbarian clothes.
Yeah, he's wearing like a tunic
peasant
now.
Clothes. Yeah, because he's being like mistreated by
by Grendel, his guardian.
Yeah,
and you discover that just an incredible feat of acting. The dad from Good Luck Charlie is not only playing Ator in the start, but he's playing his own son.
Yeah, yeah.
He's playing his own son.
And are the performances different?
Well,
no, but
yeah. Does it feel like a 17-year-old boy?
Yeah, and that's crazy.
No.
Yeah, because he's gonna be given the sword on his 18th birthday.
Yeah, and he's not there yet.
And he's not there yet. And
so
this man is clearly 40.
17.
Yeah.
Really funny.
Yeah.
Really funny, that bit. But yeah, he's talking to this. He has like some crow lady who he talks to. She's not really that important.
Nefeli.
Yeah, Nefeli. I don't know. She's like magic or something.
Yeah, she's magic.
But she gives him the lowdown on Grendel's crimes against humanity. So of course he's pissed now, and he's plotting to kill Grendel.
Yeah.
As any good son would. And Grendel obviously knows something's up. He has these trick swords placed throughout the house. So all these, there are like different moments where he's like, "Oh, you've been a good boy. Let me just give you the sword I've reforged for you.
You're not 18 yet, but I'll give this to you."
And he of course Ator takes the sword, tries to kill Grendel immediately. Bing, the sword breaks on Grendel's head. Oh, got you, boy. Now I see what you do with the real sword. Yeah, I'd kill your ass.
Yeah,
frankly,
I'd
kill you.
You're a horrible man.
Why doesn't Ator try to kill him in any other way?
Yeah,
I don't know.
because like Ator is a big guy.
He's big,
and we see him like punch through like a log earlier. Like when he finds out about this story, he
breaks a tree.
He breaks a tree.
Hand.
So it's like, oh, do that to Grendel, like punch through his skull or something.
Yeah, just kill him. I don't know, strangle him. I don't know, do something.
But he's a very inactive character unless he has a sword.
Yeah, he really
which I guess
the sword.
Is true of this entire family because like the dad was willing to die instead of doing anything else
for the sword of the sacred Graal.
Yeah.
So he's failed to kill him multiple times, and one day while Grendel is out, Ator, after having a spat with Grendel, where Grendel like makes him blind.
A spat, yeah.
Where he tries to kill Grendel and fails.
What happens? Like he tries to hit him again with another sword. It breaks, and like a very funny physical comedy thing happens because he gets really mad. He like stoops down to Grendel's level. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you."
I'm gonna kill you.
And then Grendel just like looks at him, like splashes the blindness potion in his eyes. It's funny looking.
Yeah.
Grendel is a very like slapstick, silly character. Like the way he's acted, but then you're like, oh, but he's like.
Yeah, but he's a horrible rapist.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. The Toad is just so weird.
Yeah.
He's like, keep playing that stupid fucking music. It's like, da 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 da. Insane for this movie. Yeah. But he's blind. He's stumbling around. Somehow he finds behind a rock the pieces of the real sacred sword of the Graal.
Well, what do you mean somehow? They explain it very clearly in the movie. A light,
there's like a light
reflects from like a circular thing, shines in his eyes. He can see now, which is usually the opposite of what shiny lights do to someone's eyes. And then he finds.
Yeah, he gets it. He reforges it. It is pretty funny because now we know he's got the real sword.
Yeah.
And he pretends to be asleep. And Grendel comes back. Grendel walks over to him. Get up, beast. Yeah. Kicking him and shit. Grendel's just a little piece of shit.
He's a piece of work.
And it's funny because Grendel turns his back on Ator. He's walking around in the house. Ator gets up. Grendel! It's like, oh, fuck.
He's done.
Oh, shit. Grendel turns around. He's like, oh, right here on the top of the head.
Yeah.
And, of course, Grendel thinks it's going to be another slapstick moment.
But he's got nothing coming.
He lifts it high, brings the sword down, chops him in half.
Yeah.
Chops Grendel
in
literally
like
in twain.
Chops him in like he divides like paper mache or something. It's crazy.
It is pretty funny. But fuck that guy. He's dead. Grendel's gone.
Well, or so you think.
Yeah. I mean, now he's got to do more shit. He's fallen in love with Dejira.
Yeah, because Nefeli like runs by Just like she can like shapeshift and stuff, and she disguised herself as Dejanira and like runs by. And then Ator sees this and he's like, "Oh, I love her. Whoever you just shapeshifted as. I don't know who
she was. She was hot. I'm into it."
And she's like, "Oh,
I'm gonna free her from her weird fire prison." But to do that, he needs something. He needs to free the treasure of the kingdom of the West and offer it as a gift to the gods. To do that, he's gonna have to fight Ator and Eric, two guys. They're like fused, and one's got a shield, one's got a sword.
And he thinks that's all he's gonna have to do.
Yeah, he thinks that's all.
Little does he know.
I mean, he goes to fight these guys. Turns out they're robots.
Yeah.
They're like mechanical.
Yeah, and like I feel as though, because it's something you never really know about like these kinds of adventures and like a fantasy story is like, how do people know about the nature of this quest?
Yeah.
Like, did someone like go in and like see this?
Oh,
this is fucked. I gotta get out of here. Yeah. And then live to tell the story, or like, did the gods somehow inspire this? But it's like, I feel like the fact that they are robots is something that I would be pretty insistent about. Telling people.
Yeah, no, they're mechanical for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you don't understand what you've seen if there are like no other robots in the setting.
I suppose.
You're like, it's just two freaky dudes connected.
Which this is another theory about the future aspect of this story. The fact that there just are robots.
Yeah. I mean, what does that say?
This is
I don't
future.
know. But he basically gets it to run against the wall, runs up behind it, chops it in two.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to kill that thing.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Then,
what's that coming out of the darkness? It's like a bog dragon. It's like Godzilla.
Which is another thing that I'd very much be insistent about telling people about.
The fire-breathing Godzilla.
The second boss in the cave.
Because it's just walking around on two legs, like breathing fire and shit.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand the point of having this in the movie. Because like he chops it a couple times, he just kills it outright.
It sounds, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like you're criticizing a choice made by Joe D'Amato.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's true.
I feel it's
probably a
horrible.
cultural thing.
Yeah, it's an Italian filmmaking decision.
Yeah.
A lot of Italian art house films.
Yeah, an Italian motif.
Godzilla walking in the middle of a scene.
Your character has to fight Godzilla, no matter what movie it is.
I wish I knew more about Italian films so I can make a joke based on that, but I just really...
It's tough.
This is all I know.
Yeah, right. This is the only touchstone for Italian film. Yeah. So he kills the bog dragon and he dedicates the treasure to the gods. Yay. Now I can go get the girl, which he does. He has a little Sleeping Beauty moment. True Love's kiss wakes her up.
Yeah, well,
or something.
Wakes her up. It definitely wakes her up.
It does wake her up.
But yeah, the question
was she
is
asleep?
Was
she truly asleep?
Was she in a magical slumber, or was she just asleep? Because that really changes the nature
so
of
much
this scene.
of how.
Because if she's just sleeping and she wakes up to be just
she's never seen him before. He's seen her.
Well, she's never seen his dad, who looks identical to him.
That's true. I guess she was in love with his dad. Maybe.
So yeah, she thought that he was the dad.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh no, I'm his son."
His son. Same diff.
Yeah,
I guess is her.
And
mentality.
yeah, I guess she's chill with that. But it's maybe don't wake up this person I'm making out with her, because part of this story told him that
to do that,
making out with she was.
Yeah, that wasn't
part
of the
story was that she was even a part in an eternal slumber.
Yeah,
so
just
when
go
we
there
cut to
and
her
she'll be there
in the bed. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Is she
that's weird.
Why is it a Sleeping Beauty thing? And then it's oh, he's gonna make out with her.
Mm-hmm.
Filmic shorthand is very interesting. This story pulls from a lot of different things. In a way that doesn't really feel intentional, in a clever way. It just feels like it is just shorthand. It is oh, she's gonna be sleeping, so people know that he's gonna make out with her. I don't know.
It is funny. One thing you never expected when they're running away, and there's stock footage of volcanoes exploding.
Yeah, the same stock footage from the end of Ator 1 when that happens.
They'll literally just cut to fully stock footage and just play it for 10 seconds.
Yeah, and I guess someone told Joe D'Amato that if you're gonna have the B-roll, it has to intersect with what's happening with the characters also. So their solution to that is oh, there's gonna be lava coming down, but I guess their version of lava is just chili being poured on the ground.
Well, it is funny because some of the stock footage is of crumbling acropoli. And stuff.
That's good. Yeah.
It's pretty. I guess it's funny. It was funny in the beginning, and then they just keep doing it for a good 5 minutes, and it's no longer funny by the end.
Yeah. No, this scene goes on for a while, and then the only thing that is being conveyed to the audience is just that they get out of the temple as it's collapsing. Like, there's no moment to, like, character choices during this scene.
No.
So it's like, why does this last for 5 minutes? I don't know. It's not really like a spectacle. It's not fun to watch.
No, it's not fun at all.
Yeah.
But what happens next is even less fun. You know, there's a whole scene. I'll just shorthand it. There's a whole scene where he goes to, like, a goblin tavern next.
Cut to
Goblin Tavern.
Yeah.
He's there with Dejanira, sees his mom. You know, it's unclear whether he, like, at first recognizes that it's his mom or not. But she's being, like... she's like with this guy who I guess like owns her or something.
He's gambling and stuff,
and he tries to gamble her away, and you know it doesn't work out. What's important about this scene is that one, Ator saves his mom from the bad man, beats him up, and we meet Skjald, who becomes a sidekick character.
Yeah, we meet Skjald and also Grimhild,
a mystery lady who becomes less mysterious later on.
And she wants Ator. She's like, who is that man?
He's so bad.
And like the shapeshifting lady, like Nefeli, is like working behind the counter for some reason at this bar.
It's everyone you know is in the bar.
Yeah, she's like, oh, that's Ator, the prince of the
Achilles.
Achilles.
Yeah. You know that guy. You know him. You love him.
Weird
stuff. But he saves his mom. Yay.
Yeah.
His mom. She's like, oh, well, you know, thanks for saving me and all. But
yeah, I got to repay you with the only thing I can.
It's like, Mom, chill.
Yeah.
The only thing that can really set her free is for someone to look at her as a mother.
Yeah.
What do you know? He is her son. So,
she
dies.
Yeah, like they hug and then she like separates and then like she's old now and next cut to she's like on a funeral pyre
she's
and
dead.
On fire.
What a way to write a character.
Yeah, because this is a woman whose like agency was taken from her entirely by this goblin. Gets it back for like a second and then just dies.
Yeah, freedom is really only found in death for her.
Yeah.
What does that say?
Is like kind of a bad way to write like a character arc, I think. Giving a character like no choices ever at any point.
Literally just go from being abused to death.
Not great, I would say.
No,
I feel like you wouldn't write a male character this way.
Did you need to have this character at all? I mean, not really.
It doesn't really impact the plot.
No.
It gives Ator a reason to like not like Grendel, but like you could explain that in any other number of ways.
Reasons why he would hate Grendel.
Yeah. And the thing I wanted to get into earlier, like the law or like the gods or whatever wouldn't allow her to live after her husband. But then the gods curse her with like eternal life, it seems. That doesn't make sense.
Well, you know, it's just whatever you want, the gods will just do the opposite.
Yeah, I guess so. They're just real stinkers that way.
Laws be damned. So we cut away again. Ator and Dejanira are trying to escape to Middle Earth or Middle Land or something.
We have to get to
Middle World.
Dejanira says,
where Thorn can't find us.
Yeah.
Because presumably Thorn is like on their heels throughout this movie.
Yeah, which like
we never really see
implied.
that. Because the places that they go to just have dangers.
Yeah,
like they go to a swamp and there's like lizard people.
Yeah, I forgot about the lizard people. They don't really matter, do they?
No, they die. They get killed.
And like Skjald pops up. Like this is when
Skjald just appears.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, I've been following you because you saved my life."
Yeah, and he like throws a rock at one of the lizards.
His weapon of choice is only a boomerang, which is really funny.
Yeah,
really funny. He's like a white guy with a turban and a boomerang.
It's funny.
He's pretty funny.
Yeah,
we like Skjald.
So
he's part of the party now, our party of 3, and so they're just chilling at camp, like bonding, and we cut to some men who are just running, just fucking booking it. Like,
and they're moving. Like they're all
where they're going
like, wearing armor, like evil armor and stuff. And, like
they're bad from the armor.
Sprinting.
It is really funny because they're running. And we're cutting back between the camp and the men running, and then suddenly,
the camp, like they're having fun, they're eating, like they're like, oh,
they're cooking like a giant rat.
I'm so glad we're all friends. We all come together. boosh, like the guys, they come in.
They don't stop running. They maintain momentum.
They lay
run
out
in,
Ator. They hit him on the ground.
Knock him to the ground.
Yeah. They
grab Dejanira.
Get skilled, and then they grab Dejanira.
And just keep running.
Yeah. These are some of our best goons.
These are the most efficient goons I've ever seen.
We've seen like actually some pretty good goons in this genre, but like these are the best goons.
Yeah, no, these are by far the best goons. They're not even like hypnotized or like magic or anything. They're just some like really good goons.
Can we say goon anymore? Is there a better word for goon now that goon has been
crony? I don't know.
But like they're not high up enough to be crony. Like you're a goon and you get like promoted.
Yeah, promoted to crony status.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are goon men.
Yeah,
grunts. They're grunts.
They're grunts. Okay.
They're
grunts.
They're
that
grunts
doesn't
of
really
the East.
sell like the evil kind of mindless. Grunt is fine. Grunt is fine. Yeah.
Makes you think of Halo.
Yeah. Hey, there you go.
Putting that image in everyone's heads.
Yeah.
They're Hagen's men in the Kingdom of the East.
Yeah, Hagen. Huh? That's a familiar.
Where have we
name.
heard that one before? Well, it's not just Hagen. It's Hagen
Gunter's there too,
and Prince Gunter.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Who is this? So Hagen in this story is yet another goblin. Evil, understandably, as goblins are wont to be.
As goblins are. Yeah.
You know, I don't want to make any racial claims. Seems like the goblins are mostly evil.
Well, I'll say this. Prince Ator, the first one.
Right.
Had a lot of goblins in his court, and look what happened to him.
Look what happened to him. Yeah. It's funny because the goblins have like this anti-human rhetoric about how humies can't be trusted.
Yeah.
But it's like, bro, you are the most duplicitous creature
Evil,
I've ever
racist.
seen.
Yeah.
You are the worst. I don't know. Nothing could be worse than these goblins. And I stand behind.
You got to clean up these streets.
Yeah, get rid of these fucking goblins. Yeah. So this part of the movie, I feel like, is just so disconnected from the rest of the plot.
Well,
I just don't.
Until
suddenly it's like Die Nibelungen from hell.
Yeah.
Like all the characters are like Die Nibelungen stand-ins.
Yeah.
Where Ator is a stand-in for Siegfried.
Yeah.
Hagen is Hagen Tronje, who's like manipulating Gunther. Who in this is like a human guy who's ostensibly ruling the kingdom, but he's really being controlled. By Hagen.
Yeah, this story is like a what if like Siegfried wanted to get with Brunhild instead of Grimhild.
Yeah.
Because Grimhild is like that's the sister of Gunther.
Yeah.
In this,
and she is in this movie.
The
lady in the bar who we saw who wanted to get with Ator is Gunther's sister, who's not under the spell of Hagen, who just wants to get with Ator. Little side quest going on.
So like Gunther has this whole thing where like he makes ceramics.
Yeah, right.
Because
he's an artiste.
We cut to him and he's like dangling a lady over like a boiling pit, and like you're wondering like what is going on there.
What is he doing?
And apparently that's how he makes the ceramic people and stuff. Like he has a lot of like statues in his room.
The Ice Queen from Narnia.
Yeah, I think Ice Queen from Narnia. I think like Carbonite. It's any of those things.
So he's like a freak. I don't know.
He has boils
he's like
on his face.
Yeah, that's how you know.
Yeah.
So he's sickly and disgusting.
And he's madly in love with Dejanira for some reason. He's never.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen her before this moment.
I don't know.
But I guess she's just like famed to be beautiful.
Yeah.
He's not gonna get with her. It's not gonna go very well for him.
Couldn't.
She doesn't want to be with him because he's a freak.
No, there's a lot of that going around in this movie.
There really is. There's a lot of that going around.
Yeah.
And Ator, rocks up. It's like, give me my woman back. You.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, whatever you say. You are free to leave. Dejanira shows up. They leave.
Yeah.
What? It's the guy's sister cosplaying Dejanira.
Dejanira starts acting kind of mean. She's like, three's a crowd. Let's get this skilled guy out of there. Skilled runs off.
Is he like kidnapped or something? Like, he literally does disappear.
No, yeah, he disappears. And like Ator's like, you would never say that about Skilled before.
Yeah, you loved Skilled.
You loved Skilled. You love that white guy with the turban.
One of our closest friends.
Our family friend Skilled. Skilled like gets upset. And like she's like, oh, now we can finally make love.
Yeah.
And I guess they do.
Yeah, I guess they do. Like, it's implied that they do.
Ator is he's weirded out by this. by her being mean to Skeeld, but I guess not weirded out enough to not also have sex with her.
Yeah, then she turns into her true form.
Yeah, she like morphs back into Grimhild.
It's like, ha, gotcha.
It's like, your lady may have your soul, but actually, she doesn't say that. She says something very similar. Like, she says something to the effect of like, your heart may belong with her, but your body was mine. Like, you laid with me. And then that's something that also Gunther says to Dejanira.
Yeah.
Like,
Ator may have your soul, but I'm going to turn you into wax.
Yeah, I'm gonna have your body in wax form. I'm gonna make a Madame
Yeah, he
Tussauds
has this like insane machine with a giant wheel where he's like very slowly lowering her into the wax.
It's like just dip her in, right?
Just dip her right in. I don't know. It's pretty funny because she's like, on the brink of being turned into stone or whatever.
For like 5 minutes. She's being lowered in.
Ator's fighting goons for like an hour while he's still lowering the thing.
The wheel needs to be greased. It's a very...
You gotta grease the wheel.
The wheel's
Hagen's just standing behind Gunther like watching this all go down.
Yeah, and you think that Hagen is like kind of a manipulator character, like...
Yeah, you never
see what he's... like what end he's doing it for.
What's the point of it all?
Because like Gunther is the king or like prince of this area. So you think, Hagen is using him for like his political power to like get to his own ends, but then like you never see what those are. He's just kind of standing around in these scenes,
and you won't ever see them.
Yeah,
because Ator, once he kills all the goons, he's ready to face off against Gunther and Hagen, and Gunther is like, "Oh well, you won't kill me. I'm gonna turn myself into art." Grabs Hagen for some reason. Hagen's like, wait, no, stop. Jumps into the pit of like boiling stone.
Yeah.
With both of them.
And I'll say this, only good thing in the movie.
Yeah, only
good. Because like that's just funny. Like you have this like insane character who's been like manipulated this whole like bit of the plot.
Yeah.
By this like wise kind of guy, and then like he just gets entirely hoisted by his own petard.
By his own
you
petard.
hitched your wagon to this crazy guy.
Yep.
And now he's gonna take you down.
Now he's gonna take you down, and he does presumably.
Yeah.
So they live happily ever after.
And then you're like, what's gonna happen with Thorn?
What's gonna happen with
Are
Thorn?
we gonna kill
what
Thorn?
Happened with Thorn? Well, after credits, Hagen boom pops up out of the ooze. So maybe he's alive, and if you look at the voice, the cast, the voice acting list, the same person voices Thorn and Hagen
and Grendel.
But
it's like, okay,
so maybe that was just the goblin guy.
Yeah.
So maybe because my reading is like, oh well, this is a classic Zusha situation.
Right.
Where
classic
Thorn has
shapeshifted
into a vizier.
Okay, yeah.
And is manipulating.
But like his shapeshifting is just another goblin.
Yeah.
I feel like I would shapeshift into anything.
But he was, he's a smaller goblin. I feel like Thorn, when
Thorn's
we see
big.
his goblin
Thorn's a big
form,
goblin.
he's like large and imposing
huge,
goblin.
Yeah, I guess so.
But we never get clarity on that.
Yeah, so I guess if you're a person who believes that Ator has defeated Thorn at the end of the movie by like this other guy, by Gunther putting him in the stone, then like wouldn't you also believe that Ator defeated Thorn at the very beginning when he killed Grendel if they're all the same guy?
Yeah, but maybe he's like an immortal or something.
Yeah.
So maybe when he killed Grendel, it didn't actually take. When he split him in two.
So he's just gonna be like hounded for his entire life by Thorn.
Yeah, I mean they're setting up another movie that never came out.
Never should have come out. This is a bad movie that shouldn't have sequels.
Because I mean I agree we don't really need a sequel.
I think we got through that in record time because nothing happened in this movie at all.
Not much happened. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why. It seems like obviously Joe D'Amato is cognizant of other films in the genre.
He knows they exist.
Explicitly referencing Tiny Nibelungen. Explicitly.
Yeah. Maybe he's like just referencing like the epic itself, like the saga, but it's like I doubt it. I really doubt it.
Well, here's my thing. I think the weird like design of Godzilla dragon is like inspired by
the
Tiny
iguana dragon. Yeah, I could see that.
Because he's like a little swampy. He's a little swampy.
Yeah.
Now, what does that say? That he was aware of a much better story and decided to make a story that was way worse?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting, and I feel like, I don't know, I think we might have somewhat of a tendency, like, in like the past 2 episodes, we're talking about Troy, we're talking about Beowulf, like kind of trying to trace the like good aspects of this genre back to like myth and epic and stuff like that. And like I think someone could like hear that and be like, oh, what makes these stories good is just when there are like references to epics. And that's just not, because like at the heart of these movies is nothing. There's no heart.
There's
at
nothing.
all.
Well, in this movie, so much less. Like in terms of the screen time, there are just like 25 minutes probably of the entire movie where literally nothing is happening on the screen.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah,
like characters are slowly walking across a set. They're running. They're not speaking.
Can you identify like a choice that Ator makes the entire movie?
Well, he decides to kiss Dejanira, which was not called for.
Yeah, he decides one thing,
which was not called for.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's strange that this is technically the 4th Ator film, 3rd Ator film that this director has made.
Yeah, so it
doesn't
truly
seem to be learning.
No.
Doesn't
if anything, he's getting worse. He's getting worse.
Right.
Well, okay, I will say, I mean, Ator 2, The Blade Master, fun movie.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
It was a fun movie. If he had just been doing that forever, I think.
Well, that is the only people who like this movie kind of liked it for the so bad it's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
It was really funny. One guy called the film, this guy John Stanley, what does he know, right? But he said it was yet another pathetic entry in the Italian-produced Ator series.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know about pathetic. I mean, maybe pathetic.
I mean, this one is pathetic. The others I would not really describe as pathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
this one might be pathetic.
Iron Warrior is bad, but it's like I wouldn't know, would I?
Yeah, a different guy, Kenneth Bailey, liked it more. He says there's some hilariously bad sequences that will please fans of the abysmal.
Yeah.
Which
I guess that's what we are. Yeah. I guess that's exactly
what we are. Fans of the abysmal.
Yeah, he described it as so bad it's good, and I don't know if that's
I don't
true.
think that's quite true.
I think it's just bad.
I honestly, I had the most fun. Like, I'm laughing watching the film.
Yeah.
In the beginning, when you have no idea what the fuck is happening.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Because they throw you in to this world with these characters, these gods, these heroes, and it's like they don't explain anything.
Yeah.
For like 20 minutes.
And like, I think that is the part of this movie that did feel like a creative like process. You know, you get to like assume in your mind like how we got here from like the end of Ator 2, which is like the nuclear bomb going off. You know, like I think that was fun, but that was only fun in like its extracurricular nature, where like I was doing the work to like make it enjoyable, and make it make sense in any way.
I honestly, I kind of prefer the episodic storytelling style of like the Beastmaster series.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, you got Beastmaster, you know, that's a through line. He's like pretty samey from movie to movie. You know, whether he's in 90s LA or whether he's in wherever he lives normally. Auric.
Yeah.
You know, we're just watching him, like vignettes of his like adventures.
Vignettes. Tasteful
vignettes.
An anthology.
Yeah,
of
right.
sorts.
And you know, maybe you learn like 1 or 2 new things about the setting. But it's not like, here we are, flash forward, Prince of Achilles, we are in Middle World, we are following the political intrigues of the gods.
And I mean, that's something to talk about with this movie. Like, it is both Ator 3, the hobgoblin.
Yeah.
And also Troll 3.
It's Troll 3.
Or the Hobgoblin. Or the Prince of Achilles. Like it could be so many different things.
Yeah.
Like, essentially, this movie is so vague and, like, unrelated to other movies that it can feasibly be both the 3rd installment in the Ator series and another series.
Yeah, right. It could be anything.
The Trolls
It could be
movies.
anything.
Yeah.
Well, that is what I kind of like about it. Because it makes you think about... Because we talk a lot about stories in the abstract, right? Like, what makes a story good? What kinds of stories are there? How can we categorize them? Well, this really begs the question, what is a movie?
Yeah.
Like, is a movie just a series of scenes on film?
Because that's what this is. Yeah. And, like, I feel like no. I feel like I was not watching a movie when I was watching this.
Yeah. Because how could it be possible that a movie could go by 5 different titles that all, like, apply equally? Because they don't apply to anything strictly in the plot. I don't know. It's really interesting. I'd long to make a movie that could just be the third movie of one franchise, the fifth movie of another franchise.
I mean, that would be fun. I would love that. Just like somehow like the end game of like bad pulpy Sorta Sorcery movies. Like it's related to all of them. Yeah,
it could fit into any one of these series.
I mean, really, all you have to do is like say that it can. Like, think about like The Sword and the Sorcerer.
Yeah.
Like the sequel to that. Film. Yeah, it's like if you just didn't tell me it was a sequel, I wouldn't think
you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But well, and that is an example where they don't even try to like name drop characters. Really, they just tell you at the outset. Yeah, this is a movie about this other movie.
Okay, well, I'm looking at Troll 1. What is feasibly supposed to be like the
first of this trilogy, this noble trilogy.
It's set in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So how?
The Troll movies are not fantasy, really. Like the Troll horror movies. Troll 1 and 2 are just like, it's like the regular world, but the protagonists stumble upon trolls who like eat them or whatever.
Where are the trolls coming from?
Not the land of the Achille, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I think the only reason it could justifiably be Troll 3 is because they use the same costuming for the trolls.
Yeah, apparently Troll 3 also refers to a movie called The Crawlers.
Which also sounds like it could not be related to the Troll franchise.
What is with these Italian movies being other movies?
Yeah, I just don't think they care. Like, they don't care about putting it in the context of other films. It's like, whatever. It's Troll 10. It's, the Underworld 5. Yeah. It's Crawlers 6.
Which Crawlers is also Contamination, which is Contamination 7, I think.
Hey, it's about translation and the powers of language, The same word in Italian can mean troll, crawlers, Ator.
It's very, very complex.
I don't know what word that might be.
It all depends on the intonation.
Mm-hmm. The tones. That's how Italian works, right?
Italian works.
Couldn't tell me. Couldn't tell me much.
Well, we're not big romantics.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know.
We're not. Yeah. I mean, the love affair with Joe D'Amato is now over, sadly.
Yeah, this is kind of
his
sad.
Last.
And like, what a whimper to go out on.
Yeah, right.
Jeez.
What a sad note to end on. Ending on Ator 2, I think, would have been good. Because that is just a better film.
I mean, nothing could ever rival the hang gliding sequence.
It's so good.
It's insane to think it's the same director who brought both of those things.
Well, I think it was. I think he misread the reaction to the hang gliding sequence. Because in Ator 2, like, there are typically things happening on screen, characters talking, plot's moving, and then there's this one extended sequence where nothing at all is happening.
And the music's insane.
And he's like flying around.
Yeah.
It's just scenic shots of the Italian countryside, unrelated to the rest of the movie. And he saw that people thought that was funny. And he thought, I'm going to make a whole movie.
Yeah, of
that's that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work. It's boring. It's dull. I don't like it anymore.
No. It's not fun anymore,
It's not fun anymore, Joe.
Try different jokes.
Try something new. This is no Ator 2. Certainly no Ator 1. But, I mean,
this is the last film in the Ator series.
Yeah, this is the last one.
But it's not the last that we're talking about. Is the thing.
No, we're going to get to Iron Warrior, certainly.
At some point.
1990, we're reaching the end. We're reaching the end of these kinds of Sword and Sorcery movies.
Yeah.
Because, I would die for so many of these newer films. I would die for Hercules 2014, Conan 2011. What are the other terrible ones we've seen that are
I guess not even that ones, many. Yeah. We're getting better.
We are getting better.
We're getting further from the source with like the genre.
Yeah.
But like they are getting better. Which what does that say? That like the better they get, the less they have to do with
I feel like this is kind of the last hurrah of the genre. You can tell by the time we get to 1990, Quest for the Mighty Sword, the tropes are so played out.
Yeah, yes.
Like, everything's been done. It's been done a million times.
Well, so much so that, like, Beastmaster has to go to L.A.
You gotta really switch it up.
Yeah.
You want to do something new. And, that's what they should have done, I think. They should have gone to Naples or something.
Well, the thing is, he could have gone to San Francisco and then fought the trolls.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
And I will say, Beastmaster 3, 1996. So that's 6 years after this.
Yeah.
And this seems to be great, It seems like it's keeping it alive.
Yeah, right. Keeping the love alive.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I hope, we all learned something today. What exactly that was escapes me.
Yeah, I couldn't quite say.
But that's, perhaps not the last we'll see of Miles O'Keefe as Ator, or Ator in general. Yeah. But sequentially speaking, that is the last, newest film in the Ator saga. He ends there.
Sad.
We'll never hear more from Ator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never again.
How did he end this movie? He goes off with
Dejanira, yeah.
Dejanira, yeah.
Just goes off somewhere. God knows where.
And
Middle world. Where
Thorn
we are.
is alive. Yeah, I guess that's where we are. Yeah.
Yeah. He's coming to Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Now our shooter's gonna come for us.
Yeah, it's a big city,
Yeah.
Good luck finding
fucking
us.
luck.
But next week we are going to have even more action. Hard to have less action than the amount of action in this film.
Yeah. Not much. Minimal, I would say.
Yeah.
And the action that was there was bad.
Yeah.
So let's hope it's better than that.
See some good action.
Yeah.
Tubi, we're taking it back to Tubi.
Taking it back to Tubi. To be or not to be?
Hawk the Slayer.
Hawk the Slayer.
And
that's the question.
I say we be. We be there.
I say we be Hawk the Slayer. Yeah, that's what we're doing next week.
Yeah, give it a watch wherever you can find it.
Tubi, free on Tubi.
It's
an
Tubi,
ad
baby.
for Tubi. This whole episode was an ad for Tubi.
Brought to you by Tubi.
Yeah.
Watch now. They have a lot of good stuff. Maybe.
Probably. I mean, I haven't checked because no one has checked Tubi ever.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna discover what Tubi is for the first time when we watch this movie.
Yeah. Let's see if it's on YouTube, so you can circumvent.
I'm sure
Tubi.
It's always.
Yeah, it's there. It's
there
on
you
YouTube.
go. There you go.
It's on YouTube. Don't worry, guys.
Watch it where you get it. Get it where you fit it.
Get it where you fit it. That's the motto of Sorta Sorcery.
Yeah. That's what we always say here.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week, which we also always say here.
We say that. We say it sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, I don't want to see you next week.
Sometimes it's like, I'm not going to see you next week.
Yeah, it's true.
But
I'm going to imagine you.
Yeah, right. Imagine me next week.
Yeah. Bye.
See ya.